Yeah, so I always worry about money, and this was just something that came into my mind about 5 minutes ago after I paid a bunch of bills this past few days, traveling back to my home in England, um, and just like the extra bills that came out, and it's crazy because I started off the month okay, or the end of last month when I got paid, and every single month it goes to the point in my account where I'm always worried about it, and I'm not alone in this, I know, but I constantly worry about money all the time, and it seems like I think people out there in the world do as well, like for the most part. So I was just looking into this, and I thought I'd talk about it, and it kind of kind of gets my feelings out on the table, so to speak, and yeah, I suppose it helps a little bit to talk about things in at least in this format. So yeah, coronavirus is up there according to this poll. So a lot of people worry about that. Unemployment, yeah. Poverty, yeah, that's a big one. Financial, yeah. Crime and violence is actually lower than unemployment, which yeah, that kind of makes sense. Taxes, that's a financial one. Climate change is way down there. Inflation, again, another financial one. Moral decline, and then I think like we've got terrorism, and then childhood obesity at 1%. Mainly maintaining social programs like way down there, but I mean coronavirus. This was like 2021, so obviously like coronavirus was a big one. Right now, coronavirus is probably like below one at the moment. Who knows? It's kind of history over the past like year or two. At least it feels like that way for me. Anyway, money, 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 money. It constantly worries me like all the time. And I was just doing some browsing, basically to do this video and talk about it a little bit. But I'm in my 40s now. I get paid the best I've ever been paid because I've built off enough experience in my career, and I do pretty well. I have a good salary for a guy living here, and working remotely from home as well. Now I have a home, I have a cheap car, I have a child as well, like a young baby to look after. So there's a couple of things, obviously, that mortgage payments and bills, but you would think with the salary that I'm on, which is pretty darn good, like for somebody like say working in Manchester, living at home, I would not worry about money anymore, but I worry about it all the freaking time, like constantly, every single day. And I don't, it's been like this for me for a long, long time. I've been worrying about money for a long, long time. Like some people seem to not worry about money, and they'll have like £50 in their account, or $80 or whatever it may be around the world, and they seem totally fine. But for me, I panic so much about money. I mean, it's not got me shaking in the corner every day, but every month I'm like, right, I better not buy something, or I have to track my money very carefully. Mortgage is a big payment, so that's like £680 in my case each month. Bills are huge. I've got 300 something pounds for my electricity and my gas, which has gone up in the past few years because of energy costs in general. My water is like £90. Internet is around £42, which is a lot. I need to get, well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like say £30 compared to say 40 is not huge, but it's an additional thing you have to pay for every month. The big thing that I pay for at the moment, though, is food. That's huge. I've just come back from a trip overseas as well, which cost a lot of money. I was over there for 3 months seeing my wife's family. Just getting me and the baby and the missus and the dog there and back was £5,000. So that's just a huge chunk of money gone. So, it was great. I had an amazing time there. Definitely, it wasn't like a waste of money at all. But it's always something that comes along and just tends to like break the bank a little bit every single month. There's always something that comes along like, oh, this month will have a cheap month. No, you won't. It's you're gonna get screwed again. Something's gonna. I just paid literally like about 20 minutes ago. I paid for the what's it called? In England, we have like a ground rent. I don't know if this is like the same around the world. Basically, if you don't own the land that your house is on, as in it's not freehold, I've forgotten what the other name. I think it's leasehold is the other one, where somebody else owns the land that the house is on. You pay them a yearly rent, basically, even though you own the house. So I just paid £426. It was meant to be £385, but I got £45 because of a late charge because I've been out of the country for 3 months and I missed the letter, etc., etc. So that's just another chunk of money. That's £400 gone, just straight out of there. Tax is absolutely fucking massive as well. It's huge. I think I including my national insurance, I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but my PAYE, which is you pay as you earn tax, my national insurance, probably some other bits in there. My pension payment goes in as well. I think it comes up to like almost £2,000 or about £2,000 a month, something like that. It's massive. I'm not in. I'm just looking at it. I'm not in any major debt apart from the house. I paid off my student loan years ago, but it's just constant, constant, constant. Like everything, every single month, stuff comes out all the time. It goes down to zero, or not zero, but I come to like, I don't know, like I sent my missus a message before, and I've got like £1,500 in my main account, and that kind of makes me worry. Now I've got savings, and I don't want to touch my savings. Now £1,500, that might sound ridiculous to some people, and it is. I know around the world, like £1,500 in your account is a good amount. Like that's probably would make a ton of people super happy, and I'm not trying to be like some kind of insensitive rich prick like, oh, I've only got £1,500. No, that goes away very quickly. That can fall away very, very quickly, with the lifestyle and living in England, like prices, like I can go out to Tesco, which is a supermarket near here, and I can spend like £100 just on some food for the next few days with the family. I've just paid £400 for ground rent. Something else might come along. I pay £200 a month for medical insurance, which is private medical care, even though we have the NHS in England. So it depends on where you live. Like if I guess for somebody in, let's say, Seattle or LA or whatever, or New York, £1,500, if they had that in their account, that wouldn't get them through the month. That would just be, for food and for bills, they wouldn't be able to like do anything, not including rent. So yeah, I didn't want to sound like any kind of like prick there, rich prick. I'm definitely not rich for sure. Like, absolutely not. I'm very far from it. The fact that I constantly worry about money means that I'm not. But I just wanted to share like this because people say to you, "Oh, like, well, you're making good money." Yes, I make good money. I'm not flying jets or anything like that. Trust me, I'm not. And I have like a cheap like 1.2. It's called a Vauxhall Corsa. I don't know if you know that around the world, but it's a cheap 1.2 litre car that I bought like 7 years ago off my sister. Point I was trying to make though, I guess, is yeah, money and just the price of things going up and constantly panicking about that, and yeah, trying to figure out ways to either save or make more money. It's difficult. It can be very tough, for everybody. So I guess if anything, this video, it's just me ranting. But hey, if you are out there and you're worrying about money, guys, you're not alone. We're all kind of in the same boat in this one. But yeah, anyway, fun talk. Catch you in the next one.